Hello, chaps, and welcome back to the Anfield boot room. I come back earlier than planned because there is a degree of jeopardy ongoing. Um, so I've got a big game up against Arsenal, and the schedule will reveal why. So since my last devastating loss to MK Dons, I've now lost twice. One to Everton, which is my first loss to Everton in nearly 10 years of management, which I was absolutely appalled by. Um, and well, I'll show you that briefly. It was a ridiculous farce. They had three shots on target, one of which was a penalty, which I can't remember whether they said it was a penalty or not. I think it was this the one that wasn't, or there's another one that was given against me that wasn't. Yeah, we've had two off the woodwork, three clear-cut chances. Well, I just want to note these down quickly because I want to do a comparison for you because I'm a fun guy. So Everton got 7-3, 3-0, 2. Let's just focus on those numbers. I have 26. Oh, I've written this down wrong. 26, 12, 11, two off the woodwork, three clear-cut chances, and managed to get one goal from that. Useless. So that's a two. That is the anatomy of a 2-1 loss. They've had three shots on target. I've had 12. So really just appalling stuff. Their first goal as well was a joke. Like it just was bad, and everyone was bad. Ricardo Esparza is not being as prolific as he was last season, and in these games where I'm playing a second 11, but they're all world class players. So it's not really a second 11. It's just they're slightly less world class. They're like 2.5 stars as opposed to 3 or 4. But yeah, so there we go. That's what a 2-1 loss looks like. And it was, again, they probably had their last shot on target on 33 minutes, and then same as we just couldn't break them down, which is pretty ridiculous in my view. And yeah, pain to me, a real pain. But it was on that day, with that loss at Everton, that we won the title, weirdly. So we were guaranteed if we won or drew, and then we lost, but then I think City lost as well. So we've won the title now. Two losses in the league, which hasn't happened in a while, I don't think. If I probably wind back, we had one loss, one loss, one loss, zero losses, then two losses. So it's like 5 years ago or something that we lost two in the league. Terrible, terrible show. Oh dear me. So actually, we're having a pretty bad season, and essentially, oh yeah, and I wanted to quickly compare that. I kind of misjudged, to be honest, the pairings of the game. So I knew I wanted to play a strong team against Arsenal, obviously because it's Champions League. I wanted to rest some guys up against Newcastle. I accidentally then rested some people up against Everton as well, whereas I didn't need to. So consequently, I played exactly the same team against Newcastle, and we won 5-0. And I just wanted to compare the match stats. So versus, I'm again writing this down. So versus Newcastle, Newcastle had three shots, two on target, one off target, no off the woodwork, and no clear cut chances. Whereas I had 23 shots, so less than last time, 17 on target. I suppose that's where the difference is. 6 off target, none off the woodwork. Again, that's where a key difference is, and 3 clear cut chances. So, same number of clear-cut chances, less shots overall, more on target, obviously, but that translates to the difference between a 2-1 loss and a 5-0 win. So basically, Everton had one more shot on target than Newcastle did. They did have 2 clear-cut chances, so that's fair how they've got a goal or maybe 2, and Newcastle have none. But I've had less shots in this game and I've scored 5. Just ridiculous. And it's the same team. It was the same team. And we've got the likes of Tornick and Ricardo Esparza, and they're scoring loads of goals. And it just doesn't make sense to me. They're not inconsistent players. I think they're both. He might not be consistent, but he is world class. And Tornick is, I think, fairly consistent. Oh, no, that's dropped off. Where's that? He used to be fairly consistent, I'm sure. Oh, no, I'm getting him assessed by the goalkeeping coach. Okay. So he is a consistent player. He's a big match player. Was I getting the other guys? Oh, it doesn't matter. Assessed by the goalkeeping coach. Because I was having a look at, interestingly, Wesley, I've noticed, is not playing very well in big matches. And if you look at this, he looks fine. And then if you look at it from any of the goalkeeping coaches' perspectives, like any of the goalkeeping coaches, there we go. So he doesn't enjoy big matches, and he's fairly susceptible to injury. So it comes out when you're looking at with the goalkeeping coaches, they pick up on this, whereas the normal coaches don't. And it's really winding me up because I thought Wesley was my nailed-on guy, and then he goes and concedes 3 against Arsenal. Ugh. And was he in goal? Yeah, 2 against Everton. And I'm not, he probably wasn't playing against Derby. No, that was Decker's. But yeah, so the anatomy of, I like this phrase, so apparently I'm using it a lot. A 5-0 loss versus a 5-0 win versus a 2-1 loss. It's very, very different. But statistically, fairly similar, which is just mad. I had 3 clear-cut chances against Newcastle, scored 5. 3 clear-cut chances against Everton, scored 1. Awful. So, but we still won the title. So in the league, I'm not too bothered because we're however many points we are clear, probably in a obscene number. Yeah, so we're like, kind of 25 points clear, and that's fine. So it's not anyone's coming to get me. But this shakiness has translated slightly into the Champions League. So we were drawn against Arsenal. Obviously, we have a mixed bag against Arsenal. And you can see, obviously, we lost 3-2. They were at home. We had a man sent off. They had a last-minute penalty that wasn't a penalty, one of those lovely controversial ones that they tell me about afterwards. And, it says in the review that Felix Zweier was a bit wrong, basically. So yeah, if we look at the stats, they had a lot of chances, and that was basically after we had the man sent off, they went on to dominate the game. If we look at the kind of when the goals happened, so he was off on 59, they score on 60, 77, and 93. After the goal on 77, we're losing 2-1. I thought, right, let's go attacking. Because getting one more away goal is going to be more valuable than conceding another one. We did that, and so obviously I called off the 2-2 draw. That's pretty good. And then they got given a last-minute penalty that it wasn't a penalty. It was neither here nor there. It wasn't like a bad tackle. No one got booked for it. It was literally just stupid. And this goal was pretty bad as well. So it was a free kick from that sending off. The free kick went in, the goalie saved it, and then Callagher was the only guy there to knock it in. And he was literally in acres of space in like the 6-yard box. It was very confusing. So I was pretty peeved off. But yeah, especially following that Everton result. So I mean, they did go on to, we were dominating, then got a man sent off, and he's one of our key men who is now suspended for this leg, which is very helpful. Had a game against Spurs in the middle. Oh yeah, I've not really bothered to review any of the ones since the Cup One Cup final. Standard 2-0 against Fenerbahce in the second leg. 3-1 against Forest. 5-2 against Derby. Malcolm, formerly of this parish, scoring 2. A scrape to 1-0 against Man United, which I think was, yeah. So they had 1 shot on target. We had 16. So we're the previously immortal are distinctly mortal, and that brings us to this game here at home against Arsenal. Hopefully, the home will make a difference, because if I look at the last 3 games we've lost, they've all been away, and one we drew, and actually, yeah, then another one we drew. So all of our bad results have been away. Oh no, 1 loss at home. Oh yeah, that was completely unaccountable. But basically, I need to appreciate more that difference between home and away and select teams accordingly. So, a 1-0 win would do us. If they score, that brings a level of jeopardy for us. So, we'd have to do well or better, like a 2-1 win, and then if they did a last-minute equaliser, they would then go through. So it's all, there's a high level of jeopardy. I could have buggered the FA Cup completely myself, and then I could have the Champions League buggered for me by Arsenal, who are a good team, a team highly supplemented by the Hamburger reign over at Liverpool. Their best players are basically my former players. So if we look at their top performers, I'll highlight the ones that I sold them. This guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. So, of their top, what's that? The top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Of the top 8, we've got kind of 5 of them there. So they're people who are really being very productive for their team. Excuse me, I'm still pretty ill, so do excuse me. I thought selling Renan Moreira, I didn't think he'd be that good because he's technically good, but then he's not that great. And he's up for like player of the season or something ridiculous. Moroccan Bill is having the season of his life. Really annoying. And Cesar Herrera is probably one of the world's best fullbacks, but I don't play fullbacks. You can see where I tried to turn him into a defensive midfielder. Thought he didn't have the vision, so couldn't quite be bothered. But he's a very good player. But and obviously they've paid the right amount for all of these players. I thought I'd look at, when I look closely at this. Obviously, I use average rating normally, but then who's actually on form? So, for instance, I've still plumped for Vladimiros, and this may be stupid because he's our least on form player, and his replacement, who would be Ali Samir, is one of our most on form players. Actually, with that observation, it's really difficult to pick Vladimiros. But I think he's played in all the big games. That's the problem. And so, he's getting a 7.2 against Arsenal. He's getting a 7.1 against Man United. Maybe not playing so well there. But Samir he's flourishing against, the likes of Nottingham Forest, Newcastle. He did score a free kick against Everton. And then he plays against Tottenham and he was rubbish. So it's a bit... I'm trying to the finely tuned machine that I have built. I'm not saying the wheels are coming off, but it's not perfect. It's irritatingly not perfect. But here we go. Another kind of little thing from this lineup is Guido Hoyos. He's coming in to replace Wonton Gill, who's suspended. He has just come back from injury. He's probably physically knackered, but he's so much better than the other guy, Vitolo Adolfo, that's his name, Vitolfo Adolfo, that it's worth paying him and then taking him off when he gets tired. So, Gareth Oversteller says, this game will be very close. I think the most likely outcome will come down to the lottery of a penalty shootout. I mean, that can only happen if I win 3-2. What? So probably not a penalty shootout, because there's only one result that will mean a penalty shootout. You absolute moron. Okay, fine. It's stupid Gareth Oversteller. Yes, Wonton Gill is good. I'm hoping... Obviously, they do play the formation that is good against us, because obviously we've got the back three, and that tends to bother them and drag them about. But you know what? We'll just go with it. Oh, wow. Verratti is getting old. Cesar Herrera. We have to nail a lot of their players because obviously a lot of them are quite high-level, good players. I'm hoping that obviously us being generally awesome will help matters. Do excuse me. And I'm just doing my usual very anal attention to detail thing. I know pretty much the squads off by heart, so I don't have to check the squads of the big teams. I know all of their players anyway, so I don't have to check. And we played them recently. Right, we owe Arsenal after what happened in our last match. Go out there and get revenge. Revenge. So based on form, I've brought in Strong Pete instead of Nicholas Sewell because he disappointed in the last match. I'm hoping Hoyos can hold up and he won't just get injured again. I mean, the strikers that I've got on the pitch are ridiculous. Come on, the lads. Wesley, I'm hoping won't crumble. But yeah, there we are. So we kind of want to go out and dominate the game like we would in any home game, score early, and you know, kind of go from there. I want this to be one of those where they don't really get a shot. That would be nice. Obviously, that would be super nice because that would be very comforting. But right, and it's looking good. First 10, we seem to be getting there with them. And Origi scores. Yes, lad. Come on. So that's 3-3 on aggregate. We got those 2 away goals that we battled hard for. So that's a good sign. Let's not sit on our laurels though. Oh, I've highlighted Pogba by accident. So yeah, go on, Origi. Oh, unlucky, mate. So, you know, they're a team packed with good players, but we're doing well. Vladimiros is doing well as well, which is great. Origi, Pogba can pick up the pieces, play it about a bit. Hoyos through to Arrillaga. Oh, Arrillaga turns the map. But the newly knighted Sir Chesney. Oh, Strong Pete. Come on, mate, you've got to be scoring that. Yeah, Chesney is doing a Joe Hart against us. Right, yeah, and we comfortably deal with that. What a ball. Whoa, oh, come on. Right, ridiculous double save from Wojciech. Hoyos has got injured and Origi's got injured. So who's gone just round and seen who's playing well and nobbled them? They'll have to go till half time. That's painful because that takes away a lot of the tactical stuff that I can do. And if they then now get a goal, that would be gutting just before half time. Well done, George Alagaya. Origi, who's semi-crippled, Milton, Hoyos, and that wasn't even offside. Oh, yes. Well, a move using both of those injured players. Origi over to Milton, who slings it down the line. I thought Hoyos was offside, but he slams it in with his left peg. And it's, yes, back of the net. So we've got a little bit of breathing room, which is nice. Right, Origi seems to have recovered suitably. I'm going to take Hoyos off because he hasn't, essentially. Vitalino Adolfo on the bench. It's fine to come in and play that role. He's a good player. Might leave Origi on a bit more because he's doing pretty well. I don't want their levels to drop at all. Vladimiros, you can look stressed all you like, but you're allegedly, mate, a big game player. Where is it? Relishes big matches. This is our biggest match of the season so far. Mentally tough and quite resilient. Looks stressed. Rubbish. You weren't that bad. See if he cheers up. You weren't that bad, mate. There you go. Looked happy. What a twazzock. Okay, good. Right, 2-0 up. More of the same, please. That's what we want. Oh, they've tried the interesting corner. And it's kind of... Oh, yes. I would say that's not quite how we practiced it. But... Oh, so the commentators just very confidently said that we look good for the European Cup on this performance. Well, we lost away, so I wouldn't go that far. Strong Pete, jumping and volleying like the young Bambi-like man he is. Right, I'm going to take off Origi in a bit because he's a valuable player to us. We don't want him to get too damaged. Right, I'll take him off now. Yes, he's taken a knock. I am aware. Thanks, Dave Dodds. Right, and we'll bring on Toolnick, even though he's wildly inconsistent. And we'll put him in this slot because that's what we like to do. And Arrillaga has a lot of pace, so we're happy with that. Oh, excuse me, trying to muffle the sound of my coughs. Toolnick could have been on that. Toolnick now, yes. He's a clinical striker. He's not going to miss from there. So we're winning 4-0 now, which really takes away the sense of jeopardy that I had. I really had a sense of impending doom. Vitalino Adolfo just playing a good pass. Tornik smashes it. Perfect. I'm just taking a gulp of water to soothe my phlegmy throat. Right, let me just keep the ball, lads. Just keep it and work it. Oh, Arrillaga. I was going to say pass it out wide, but you know what, mate? You just go for it. You do what you do. What a... Wow. Wow. Oh, what a move. Oh, oh. So Arrillaga started it from the throw-in, who he threw directly back to the centre-back. I would never have picked that out as a goal. And then a bit of a mix-up, and then a weird touch of... It just hits him in the gut, and then he volleys it in. Oh, amazing. So a 5-0 win. Anybody else needs to come on that we can save some... oh yeah, we can save Pogba. Pogba some energy. We'll put probably... Actually, is Strong Pete learning to do that? I believe he is. Is he learning to be a defensive midfielder? Yes. Right, we'll put him in there then. Put Vitalino Adolfo there, and Sewell can go on the left of defence because he's got 2 good feet. Right, so this now looks like a crushing... Whoa! See, that's what I'm talking about. This team can do this, and well, we couldn't beat MK Dons because of the silly formation I put in, not a formation selection. But that is ridiculous. Tornik's like Peter Crouch on steroids. And now they're... that's quite a... So they've gone down to 10 men. I know what Pep Guardiola would do, and that is bring on Kevin De Bruyne. I've already used them myself, so I'm going to go attacking. I'm sure there's a record for ridiculous scores, and I'm not sure we'll get there, but it's fine. We just want to not even give an inch. And my solution to go attacking hasn't really worked, but is in line with my overall tactical philosophy, which watching at the Valley on Friday, watching the second leg of the playoff semi-finals, was very frustrating. Lee Bowyer, very happy with the result. You won 6-0. I'm ecstatic with the result, you absolute madmen. Vladimiros nearly gets man of the match, so that justifies my picking him. Hoyos scored and then had to go off, so that justifies my picking him. Arrillaga, what a legend. Great stuff. I don't have any more to say about that. And the referee had a good game, of course, because we won 6-0. So they didn't have a shot on target. It's exactly the sort of thing I was going for. And I'll have a look at who's got through in the other games. So Real Madrid have seen off Cristiano Ronaldo's Paris Saint-Germain have seen off Real Madrid. He's now 40 years of age. He's scored 27 goals this season. Absolutely obscene. Has he retired from international duty? That would be funny. I don't think he... Okay, so he does plan to retire. He's going to be a manager, of course. He's going to be an absolutely insane manager. Adaptability. See, I don't like this. So he's got determination 17, and his player will have, determination 20. So as a player, he's more determined than he is as a staff member, which I kind of like, okay, I guess that works, but it does annoy me a bit because they're literal statistical. That is obscene. What a ridiculous man. Well, he's out anyway, so that's fine. So there's more. Are there more games to be played? So they'll play, or they play tomorrow. Because it might be worth seeing who we're going through against. All right, we'll play on. Yes, Liverpool overturned first leg defeat emphatically, I would say. Absolute outrageous. So we're through to the quarters. Dr. Foster, who's playing a great season, has dislocated his shoulder. Of course he has. The press conference. Tornik was undoubtedly one of the key performers. I hoped he would make an impact because the other day he was shit and then he was great. And so what's going on, mate? It's rumoured that Milton will be leaving the club. No, he won't. There we go. Oh yeah, and actually, the most frustrating thing was after we lost to Everton, some agent came and asked for an improved deal for someone, and I not only rejected that, they got sacked because I told the player to sack them. So who's this Alex Harper? He doesn't like me. He prefers his he prefers his clients to stay at their club and is also very patient. So even though he doesn't like me, I feel like I might not ask to get him sacked because I like very patient negotiators. Although he doesn't like me, right, I'm going to reject that. Obviously, I'm going to talk to Aralaga, tell him to shut up. Right, got plenty of time left in your current deal, so there'll be no talk of a new one. So shut your pie hole, absolute aegis. Shall I ask to get him sacked? No, I kind of like his attributes because it's almost like better the devil you know. Sure, he doesn't like me, but he doesn't want his player to go anywhere else, and I don't want his player to go anywhere else, so that's fine by me. This is clearly nonsense, but I'm fine with it. A question: what was your reaction to some of the? I'm not even going to dignify that with an answer. Actually, that was literally one of the options. Oh, the draw's in a few days, so we'll just. Oh, new high of gate receipts. Well, the fans felt the jeopardy as well. Maybe they came on and were the 12th man. But that's really good. So Spanish League Player of the Year, Andre Silva, Cristiano Ronaldo still in the running. I think he won it last year as well, Spanish League Player of the Year. Yeah, there you go. So ridiculous. Ridiculous. And Gerson came third because he's a legend. But yeah, even Neymar's old now. Oh, English Young Player of the Year. Yes, please. So yeah, Renan Moreira in the running for that as well. Smallsy, who I sold years ago, in the running for that. He's got to have been quite good. He was a £25 million player. Yeah, he's pretty decent. But Sonzogni, who's been very good to be fair. Yeah, there we are. So when was the draw? Oh, we'll go a few days. You can see how my loading times are compared to Mr. Benjamin Wheatland's. They are reasonable, although sometimes not. But it depends what's happening on that day. If, for instance, 1,000 regens are being generated, it takes a bit longer. If the continent of Europe's transfer window is closing, it takes a fair while it works out all the last minute deals that didn't get done. But yeah, there we are. So call up unlikely for Marolda. Yeah, he's a great player, obviously, but he's been fine for us, and he will get sold in the summer. Yeah, I suppose this gives me a platform to rant about Lee Bowyer some more, which I would really like. Basically, we'd won the first leg 2-1. They scored in the last minute after we brought on an extra centre-back to try and defend the lead. Idiot. And basically, so the home leg, we scored in the first 2 minutes, which was great. And I thought, oh my God, we could genuinely really get through this. Luis Miguel Suscum. He's a funny name. Yeah, there'll be a whopper funny names after this, by the way. Yeah, but it's Luis Miguel Suscum. Suscum. That's definitely how you say it. I'll just whiz through this. Yeah, I don't tend to respond to questions like that. I'm confident in the quality of my squad. I think it's going to be a struggle, but we'll come out on top because I'm going to give some people a rest. So that the semi-final draw. Yeah, so Lee Bowyer, we score early on. We then concede one of their 2 shots on target in the first half. It was a great strike, to be fair, but yeah, just the. Oh yeah, I should concentrate. Who do we want to do? I feel like we might want Bayern because they've basically their best players are real old now and have kind of gone. So they'll be down here somewhere. Yeah, Muller, so Lewandowski. Well, he's still good, but he's not. He's not world beating basically. So a bit like Chelsea, I suspect their world beaters are long gone, and they've got the likes of Juan Lema, Bruno, yeah, who aren't quite as good. Kathleen Degaro is good, and he's playing very well for them, and I'm glad of that, to be honest. Yeah, Dutch Dell as well. So they're okay, I would say. Who have we got? Paris as well. They're pretty good because they buy quite nicely. So they bought Alex, for instance, off me, who's very good. I did beat them before though, but they're Baiano, Benali, Mighty Mouse, Sanabria, Vallejo, Skoda. Again, so of the of the top players in this team, these are the guys that used to play for me. There you are. any more down here somewhere? No. Yeah, but it's always like the majority. And then AS Monaco, they are a good quality team. They are beating PSG in the league. And the reason for this is, again, I'll highlight my former players. There you go. So the reason for that is they've packed their team out with absolute heroes. But yeah, I feel like they don't quite have squad depth. So actually, we maybe wouldn't mind Monaco. I don't think we mind any of them. So maybe Bayern or Monaco, we'll see. I'd like to be away first as well. I feel like either it helps, I think, because you get to get a bit of a handle on the problem. Right, anyway, so this would be good if it was us. No, okay. All right, so we are away first. We are up against Bayern. Pretty happy with that. That's not too bad. Brahima Fall has just signed a new contract. We're gonna, obviously the stipulations of that contract were to get him into the club, and I told him at the age of like 14 or 15 that he was going to be a rotation player. Of course I lied. So I'll maybe play the first leg of that myself, and then if there's suitable, I mean, if we do them 4-0 away from home, I probably won't record the second leg. But if we lose 4-0, I still might not. No, I would, because it would be a Liverpool and Tottenham level comeback that I would hope to be on. But there we are. So anyway, as I go over to the funny name slot of this vid episode, I'll carry on banging on about Bowyer. So basically, 10 minutes after we scored very early on, we conceded. So it was 1-1 coming up to half time. We were playing reasonably well. Then half time, he switches to a back five. He brings off one of our more attacking players, brings on a defensive player, and shifts our centre defensive midfielder to the back five. And it's just, oh right, okay then. So we're not going to play football for 45 minutes. We're going to hope not to concede a goal for 45 minutes, and that's how you're setting up. And it's like we had nothing going forward. Basically, we had 3 players on the pitch who were vaguely attack-minded and creative, and we were just hoofing it at them. So that's real helpful. Like, come on, mate. And so obviously they scored in the last minute, and then we had nothing. So that takes it to extra time, and then obviously we had nothing to answer them with. And so yeah, they scored again in extra time, and it was like when we just got some momentum going forward, they then hit us on the break, which is what they were doing, which was their whole game plan. So once we finally managed to attack a bit, they hit us on the break, and then we managed to scrappily get in a goal. Obviously we won on penalties, but it was just a masterclass in how not to defend a lead. What wastes time better than literally wasting time is having the ball, possession, attacking, pinning them back, and we have the squad to do that. We had the players to do that, and Lee Bowyer didn't see that. Like we brought on Johnny Williams for extra time, and he pumped life into a lifeless game. He is a player you can give the ball, he'll take it around 2 people and make something happen because he's brilliant. And we were just, it was just as well we had him on the bench because we were dross before that. And that again, if we'd had him on the pitch earlier on, we could have more constructively wasted some time in the second half. And again, in that second half, if we'd scored 1 goal, they would have been basically out of it. Oh, frustrates me. But anyway, I hope Bowyer learns his lesson from that, and it's a valuable lesson if he actually takes it on board. Right, so bumper funny names. I think I just put this one in there because I can't say it, Abdelmoumene Burinane. Abdelmoumene Burinane. I mean, he's got to be determined with a name like that, just to be able to like learn to spell. That's where I think that determination's come through. Learn to spell your name. First thing you do. Abdelmoumene Burinane. Absolutely mental. I think this is another one. Emmanuel Haile Selassie Mercy. So we've also got Haile Selassie in there, but not quite. Emmanuel Haile Selassie Mercy. Funny name. Mark Wakeling, which sounds a bit like some sort of something from Stranger Things. A Wakeling. Mark Wakeling. Tom Punter. I think he came through at my academy and I released him. No? Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure he did. Yep. So that doesn't show on his history. That's weird. But yeah, Tom Punter. Ronnie Flores. I just found that really funny. He's not like half Spanish or anything. I don't think. Is he? No, he was born in Stockport, but his name's Ronnie Flores. What a hero. Robbie Towers, ironically 5'9", so he doesn't tower over anything apart from children. Lee Ambler, it's got no pace. I thought that was funny because he just ambles along. It's got no acceleration. Very apt. Kyang Sak Swirichai. He's of course through the Arsenal Academy. Kyang Sak Swirichai. Yes, I think I got that right. Right, these are guys I'm actually signing. Steve Stevenson, brilliant stuff. John Littlefair, I thought it'd be brilliant if his personality was unsporting, but I don't think it is. It's just fairly determined. But yeah, he's a little bit fair. We've got Musta Dirane Bertin Diaveznes. Oh Jesus, Musta Dirane. Oh, I can't even, guys. How many letters is that? It's too many, basically. Ben Simpson, one of my groomsmen, has finally made it into the game. Enrique Radcliffe come through at Plymouth. So he's not. Oh, he's half Jamaican. Oh, I didn't realise that, considering he's white. But yeah, Enrique Radcliffe made me think of a Hispanic Harry Potter, which really made me laugh. So if Daniel Radcliffe's actual name was Enrique Radcliffe, and it was, like Esteban Potter, that just really made me laugh. And then maybe Ronnie Flores could play Ron. Okay. Anyway, back in the real world. Unfa Hickey. What on earth is that? Unfa Hickey. Where's he from? He's from Woking. He's not even from an interesting or unusual place. He's got low determination because of a name like Unfa Hickey. Oh dear. Danny Munyarak. What the hell is that? Where? And he's not from the moon, is he? No, he's from Colchester. Go and Do. I thought that was vaguely funny. His sisters, John and Jane, obviously. John and Jane Doe. Anyway, anyone. It's Go and Do. He's Go and Do. I'm yelling Colchester. I need to stop. Sorry, it's because I'm ill. Kevin Kingsmill. I thought that was funny. He's one of those bread and butter players. Whee! And he plays for Charlton. Whee! Will Smith. Just thought that was funny because he's literally called Will Smith. Rob Robinson to go with Steve Stevenson up there. Rob Robinson, Steve Stevenson. I'm sure there's probably more. Ewan McClurg. I thought that was a stupid name. Chinedu Nwankwo. Really, the chance there. Really put in the wank in Nwankwo. Sonny Barfoot. He's not barefoot. He has a bar for a foot. Oh dear, Sonny Barfoot. Blessing Mba. I thought there was something else amusing about Blessing Mba. I think it is just that. No, okay, no, nothing particularly. Robert Horwood, who is a crossover of two of my uncles. I've got one Uncle Robert on one side and one, the other side would be a Horwood. So he sounds like one of my relatives. Kyle Danks. Kyle Danks. I'm just going to take a sip of drink. while you marvel at how crap Kyle Danks is. Kerry Al-Wadi, which made me laugh. So he's a Welsh guy. And he's just Welsh as well. I'm sure I checked this. Yeah. But his surname is Al-Wadi, Kerry Al-Wadi. It's like him and his mate Ronnie Flores. Gareth Drinkle. That's just vaguely funny. Fred Balondo Sissy. Gwendol Cousin. Gwendol. What a first name. Gwendol. Frank Obama. As in, thanks, Obama. Anyone? Oh, probably funny. This is another ridiculous one. Lorenzo Laisni della Corogne. Yeah. Lorenzo Laisni. Oh, dear. Ridiculous. This is like Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink sort of length. Frankie Rimmer. Simplice Younger. Very strange. Oh, we've got our own Jean-Jacques Pelletier, by the way, from Ben Wheatland's game. But he's obviously not as good, doesn't show the same level of promise, and will not be worth 5 million when sold. These guys are coming in. Vangelis Gitkos, or Gitkos, Volker Mole Man. He's a mole man. There's actually a promotion from the other guy. This is the Prince of Nwankwo. So yeah, I'm sure I'll find next season a King Nwankwo. Orestis, oh dear. Orestis Spiliotopoulos. Brilliant. Yeah, that's his name. Spiliotopoulos. These are just guys that I'm signing. Not particularly funny stuff about that. Madeline Vertopianu. Pinu. Madeline Vertopianu. What on earth is going on there? There's a weird kind of vaguely peanut / something else. Yeah, and his first name's Madeline, which makes... There's a Sandy Garden and a Sandy Melon. Oh, Sandy Garden, brilliant, and Sandy Melon. David Haynes. Oh dear. I mean, yeah, that is absolutely heinous. Yeah. Dear me. Yeah, David Haynes. Spyro Batiki. Spyro. I like the first name Spyro. I'm thinking firstborn child. Definitely Spyro. Although it won't be after Spyro Batiki, it'll be over Spyro Agnew, the former vice president of the United States, who was disgraced and had to resign. Alex Tamburino, sing a song. I won't sing anymore because obviously that I think that was supposed to be "Hey Mr. Tambourine Man," but yeah, I'm guessing that would be the Napoli shout if he becomes a legend. Hey Alex Tamburino. Furio Milan plays for Inter Milan, which I thought was quite funny, and he's obviously a big fan. He's a furious fan. These are just Baz Coops. Made me laugh a bit. And, occasionally, wow, the sideburns on this guy as well. Christ. The occasional bad accent comes into my funny names. And I think this one, what is it? Is it Irish, maybe? Ait dag. It's like saying, are you all right, mate, but in an Irish accent. Robert Ait dag. Ait dag. It's a weird name. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Because that wasn't convincing. Wojciech Seaman. So he's a goalkeeper. So I thought initially that Seaman was quite funny, but then also his name is Seaman, so it's that's also quite funny. And I think that is it. Funny names wise. So that was a bumper pack of them. No real racism, I think. I managed to steer clear of that. But okay, so that hopefully wraps up a successful episode. We've won the Premier League, so that means we've got the Community Shield, the League Cup, and the Euro Super Cup, but not the FA Cup, and the Champions League is still very much up for grabs. yeah, so none of these Premier League games really matter at all. I don't know if there's probably a battle going on at the bottom that I'm not really aware of. Derby, who played very well previously, Southampton, who are big guns, Nottingham Forest, who are surviving well. Excuse me. I'm sure Mourinho's popped up somewhere else as well now. I've heard from him recently. Where's he popped up at? Derby, yes, of course, he's at Derby, which is very funny. So yeah, he's in a relegation scrap, which makes me laugh. Again, a lot of the players here, we see the top performers. Malcolm is formerly of this barrage, as is Cesar Herrera and Moroccan Bill and Lorenzo Ayala. So, you know, all of those coming into play. Is there anything else funny to show you? I can't really remember. Probably not. I've been turned down for a new stadium again, which is annoying. The board annoying. Oh, there are some children screaming outside. I don't know why. I wonder if that will make basically no difference. So I'm not going to do that for now. And yeah, that's it. If we finish on the competitions tab, as we tend to do, we can track the old progress. So we are league winners, having been not top for maybe like a week or two. Even though we've had more losses in the league than we've ever had. We're in the semi-final against Bayern. We feel pretty decent about that. I don't know what system they're playing. They've got Simeone, who's obviously pretty good. But I would like to think we can do them. Although Zukovsky is a very good young goalkeeper. He's really good. Not perfect, but yeah, damn, he's good. I tried to get hold of him a long time ago, and it didn't really work. As you can imagine, because he'd just come in from Greuther Firth. And that is the case for a few this season. In fact, I've missed out on some top talent because they just arrived somewhere else. Actually, I think one of them's from Bayern as well. If I manage to pick this out of the list, I will be impressed. I think it's Joachim Zoller. So he is. I thought he was meant to be even better than that. Yeah, so he was meant to be absolutely unbelievable, but he'd just come in from Hoffenheim technically, so he doesn't want to sign for me. There's a few other similar ones to that, which are frustrating. But I will have already captured a good deal. I suppose if we look at my incoming confirmed transfers, 47 coming in. So that's, that'll keep the old academy ticking over. I will obviously be sending a lot of people out because I've not quite made the grade, because I do still have a ton of players. I'm not sure how many that might be worth. Got 159, so from 250, 159, I'm getting 47 more in over the next few years, of course, and the project will continue. I do hope someone put this in my mind recently of going a whole season unbeaten in every competition. Obviously, we've got to now bounce back and actually win every competition, because we haven't done that this year, but to be unbeaten in every single game would be quite an impressive thing, and I think that would maybe force me to be a bit more conservative with my use of youth. But yeah, there we are. Liverpool is still a happy club. They're still not too disappointed with me, and I hope you've found the level of jeopardy that we then seriously dismissed entertaining to a degree. I'm sure I did, certainly. I was up last night thinking about it genuinely, because I need more action in my life, I think. And on that note, I will talk to you guys later. Hope you enjoyed that, and it's goodbye from the Anfield Boot Room. Bye.